Is your company honoring Juneteenth? And if so, please comment below and let me know how they are honoring it, because I feel like a lot of companies are looking at Juneteenth as if it's just another holiday. And I personally feel like they're not doing enough, my company included. So on this video, I'm going to get into the meaning behind Juneteenth, number one, and also highlight 3 things we would not have if it wasn't for Juneteenth, and subsequently, all of the other things that came after it, such as, the civil rights movement and all these things. So if you are new here, hey girl, hey, or hey boy, hey, my name is Jocelyn and I am the founder of Maximize Money, and I teach Black women, 9-to-5 earning Black women, how to save more and spend wisely so that they can create their dream lives with their income without trading more of their time for it. And I feel like because my company did nothing for Juneteenth, they do everything for everything else. Asian American month, what else? Pride month, like we get nothing, and I'm just so sick of that. And I said that when it was time for me to build my own business, my own brand, I want to make sure that my history is represented. I want to make sure that the things that matter to me are represented. So if they aren't going to honor it, baby, I will. So that's what this video is about. So if you don't know what Juneteenth is, let's start with a little description. It's real simple. It's basically the day that we were, freed, even though that's a little shaky on its own. It's a holiday that commemorates the freedom of slaves in the U.S. And it's often called Emancipation Day, Freedom Day, and it's celebrated on June 19th. So as you're watching this video, likely it is June 19th. June 19th, 1865. And this is important for so many reasons. And what I like to do on Juneteenth, because I've been celebrating Juneteenth way before they got popular in the pandemic, okay? I feel like they really became a thing in 2020, but I always looked at Juneteenth as my own sort of Independence Day because of the sacrifices that my ancestors made. And it's also a reminder for, me and people that look like me to think about the sacrifices that were made and reflect on what we've been through, but also take time to envision what we envision for ourselves in the future. And for me, that's many, many things. So I know for the rest of the country, July 4th, is a big deal. That's the liberty of this country, but we didn't even have basic rights back then. Like, now we have a lot more access to things. There's still some growth that needs to happen, but without Juneteenth, we wouldn't have these 3 things, and I'm gonna get into them. So number one, we wouldn't have the right to vote, and that matters so much to me because people would fight and die to, like, my people, my ancestors will be fighting to earn the right to vote, to be treated as a basic citizen. And it bothers me when people, especially people who look like me, like say, oh, I'm not gonna vote, or oh, there's nobody of interest. And I just be like, the ancestors are not pleased. The ancestors are not pleased with that. And I am always going to vote. I'm always going to exercise my right to vote because I know that there was a point in this lifestyle and this lifetime that people that look like me could not. Black people and women could not vote, So I'm always going to exercise that right because I believe in honoring my ancestors. 2 is the right to have bank accounts. So this is very important for me as a money girl. You feel me? I'm all about maximizing my coin. I'm all about maximizing my 9-to-5 income, and I'm showing y'all how to do it too. But up until the 1960s, women didn't have, Black women, but women in general, but we talk to Black women here. Black women did not have the flexibility to have their own bank accounts, which means that they could not have their own money. All of their money had to go to their spouses. And if y'all had taken any time to talk to y'all grandparents, great-grandparents, you know that there was a lot going on back then that they didn't even share with us. Like the tea that is dropped as an adult by our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents is crazy. Like, please let me know in the comments if you have gotten some recent tea or you've heard some tea from your family as an adult that just shocks you. Like, and this is just one of many examples, but I have my own family tea that I'm definitely not going to spill here. So don't spill your family tea either, baby. Just comment below and let me know that you getting more tea as an adult than you ever was aware of as a child. And for me, like, it's the freedom and the flexibility that Black women now have to do what they want to do, to make their own money and covet their own money and not feel like they have to give it to their partner, their husband, who may be abusive, who may take it and ruin it. Like, I just am so thankful to have that freedom to be able to do the things that I want to do, because it's allowed me to, point three, buy my own home. A lot of Black women, and this is a statistic, I'm not making this up, Black women are outpacing Black men in home ownership, and we still get paid the least. Black women get paid the least out of everybody else, y'all. Like, that is a true fact. We get paid the least, but we are out here using our money for good. We're buying homes, we're investing, we're doing all the things. And so we haven't used that as a crutch. We've actually used it to inspire us to go after the things that we once could not do. And if you really understand real estate, which is really how my brand was started. Like, it was originally called Real Estate Prep, which is, what was my tagline? I taught first-time home buyers, I equipped first-time home buyers with the tools and the tactics and the resources that they needed to confidently purchase their first homes, because my first-time home buying process was not smooth. Hey, it was not smooth. And if you are interested in home ownership, I have a whole playlist of my experience of buying a home, some tips to look out for. Like, I've since shifted gears, but I left that playlist there because a lot of people still ask me about home buying stuff. But that's how my brand started. It was around, showing people who look like me how to purchase their first homes. All the things that I didn't know that I had to learn, I highlight. And I also bring investors on, I bring real estate agents on, lenders on, appraisers on. I have all kind of professionals on there, and it was a game changer. Like, real estate, I kind of miss it low key, but I recognize that you can't even get to the home without getting your money right. So that's when Maximize Money became the priority. But again, if you're interested in home buying, if you're ready to buy your first home, you don't know where to start, my playlist again will be linked. Please go ahead and click it, because I give a lot of good intel, a lot of stuff you won't even think about, because this is a brand new process for you. So now I know how to do it if I need to do it again, but I need a break. I'm tired. So yes, that is something that we still are fighting for, because the home ownership rates overall for Black people is the lowest out of everyone. And granted, we have our own things that we deal with. A lot of institutionalized racism, redlining was a thing, predatory lending was a thing. There was a lot that contributed to it, but instead of saying, oh, I give up and I'm not going to do it, I had to persevere through these things, because I know that people who look like me, my ancestors persevered. So who are me to give up and feel like, oh, this is too hard, oh, I can't save the money, oh, I'm getting denied on this home and that home? No, I want to make sure that my ancestors' sacrifices are honored by the decisions that I make today. And I want to make sure that the people who come after me have that same access, And so it really grinds my gears when people feel like home ownership isn't a big deal, because it absolutely is. It's one of the biggest and most quickest ways to generate wealth. Now you have to buy right, you have to buy smart, you gotta have some money, but if you buy right, the right house, you're gonna be set. Like, I've only been in my house for a couple of years and I'm sitting on $100K in equity. Like, and equity means that I can take that money out and do something with it. Am I gonna do something with it? No, I'm gonna save that for lifing. But I didn't do anything for that. All I had to do was save up, buy the house, follow the process, and maintain the home like I've been doing. And when I sell it, I'm going to be selling it at a higher price, and that's going to be my money to do what I want to do with it. So I say all that to say, please use Juneteenth as a reflection, as a moment to reflect on like where you are in life, where you want to be headed, or where you want to go in life. And, consider the rights that we have as citizens in this country now, and try not to use, the things that are against us to stop you from doing the things that you want to do. This is one day that we actually get to celebrate the freedom of our ancestors and all that they fought for, but it's beyond that one day. What does your day-to-day look like, your week-to-week look like, and are you doing things that bring them peace? Where their sacrifice is actually worth it. And some of the ways that I try to make sure that I honor my ancestors is to, do more for the Black community. So I try to prioritize supporting Black-owned businesses. I utilize Black-owned services, like my OB-GYN, like my coach, Jakaya Brown Chow, like that's my girl of the JBT agency. She's a game changer. You feel me? I support as many Black people as I can. Solid businesses. Now, we're not about to be out here on some rinky dink. 2 is educating the youngins in my family. You can do the same in your family. Like, I always try to share everything that I know with, my little cousins, like all my little mini-me's, just to make sure that they aren't starting from scratch, and they can learn from the things that I've experienced. 3 is supporting our elders. I need to do a better job of this. Yeah, I definitely do. That can be just going and feeding them on a random Saturday morning. That can be just calling and checking in on them. Like, we really need to make sure that we're preserving them just as much as they've preserved us for our whole lives. And 4th is preserving Black spaces. So I make sure that, I'm visiting these museums. We all know about the Smithsonian. That's one of the most well-known places in the country, but there's likely some Black spaces in your city. There is a huge park in the city that I live in called Emancipation Park, and I always make sure that I'm abreast of the different events that they're having, the different initiatives that they're having, so that I can support them, So do some research and figure out like how you can incorporate more of our history into your day-to-day and honor our ancestors, because they sacrificed a lot for us to even be sitting here right now and to be able to do the things freely that we're able to do. So hopefully this inspires someone to do some more research on Juneteenth, because I didn't really go into the nitty-gritty of everything, but it's a big deal. This is literally our 4th of July. And so I want us to have that same energy that we do for Cinco de Mayo, for 4th of July, for all these other things that aren't, they kind of are, but like not really our history. So hopefully this inspires you to take some time today to reflect, to, celebrate, and know that there's a lot of more work that needs to be done, but we are tasked and we have what we need inside of us to make it done. Or to make it happen. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week on part 3 of my luxury travel on a budget series. I took a break because I knew I needed to do something to honor my people, okay? If my company ain't going to do it, I'm going to do it. All right. See y'all next week.